believe it or not, we are now on week 4 of our course. This means that we are starting to wrap up essay number 1, the narrative essays, and we are starting to move towards the next paper. So, during last week, week 3, we spent some time slowing down and thinking about figurative language. We also got feedback on our first rough drafts. If you go into Canvas, you should see full feedback from me. This includes an overall comment, usually about 2 paragraphs. This also includes a separate Word document that you can download and see all of my comments on the right side of the page. Now, this week, we are spending the vast majority of our time finishing up our first papers using that same feedback. If you go into Canvas, you will see that there are really 2 main assignments this week. The first is the discussion board. If you go into the discussion board, you will see there's a bunch of information about MLA format. You can go here, you can click on the link. This is to the Purdue OWL website, which some of you might be familiar with, and you can see a sample MLA formatted page, and you see a bunch of different information. Feel free to click around if you are unsure about how to use MLA format or anything like that. So for that discussion board, if you look at that website and you understand what is being asked of you in terms of formatting, all you need to write is, I got it, right? I understand anything like that. That basically just tells me that you know what is being expected of you. If you have any questions on MLA format, after you look through the resources on the discussion board page, feel free to write questions right into the discussion board. Then you can get comments from me, you can get comments from fellow students, and we can all help each other out. After the discussion board, the other thing we are doing is working on our final drafts. These are due by the end of this week, so this Saturday at 11:59 p.m. I want to say a couple of very quick things about revising our papers. The first thing I want to say is make sure that you read through all of my feedback on the rough drafts. One of the things that I'm going to be looking for in your papers is a sense that you really revised it as much as you possibly could. Revising a paper is one of the skills that we just need to practice. And we need to do it again and again and again, and eventually we get better at it. So make sure you read through my feedback, and if anything is unclear to you, send me a message. I am more than happy to walk you through what I mean by particular comments and how you can improve going forward. The second thing I want to say is that I highly recommend, before sending in your final draft of the narrative essay, I recommend getting someone to take a look at your paper. Ask them to look through your paragraphs or even your individual sentences and see if they can give you any feedback. I recommend using them as a way to catch any errors that you might have. When we write our own papers, we get stuck in our own minds. So even if there is a grammatical error in a sentence, if we wrote it and we're reading through it, sometimes we skip right over it. So use another person. It can be a friend, a family member, anyone at all. Use them as a chance to catch those errors before you actually submit the final draft. That's it. So again, we are doing the very quick discussion board. Again, just post I get it, or I understand, or if you have a question, send it in there, and then finish up your final drafts for essay number 1. Then next week we are moving towards essay number 2. Send me any questions if you have them, and I will see everyone online.